When I looked on the map of China, I thought it was just one of those normal countries, not too big. But after I came here and I had to travel around, I got to know that no, China is actually bigger than what I envisaged. So it's a crazy geographical, landscape. Hi, my name is Eric, but popularly known as Kinasari. I came to China in 2016, initially as a student, but currently I live here as an English teacher. When I came to China initially, I was a student, but after graduating, I decided to, find myself some part-time jobs to do as a teacher. So currently, I'm a YouTuber and a part-time English teacher as well. Well, after I arrived, initially it was pretty hard for me because of the language barrier. But as I got to learn the language, learn the culture, understand the people, I got to know that the perception that I had back home was quite different from what I currently experience. Like, there are some friendly Chinese that you see everywhere. I can boast of about 5 different Chinese families that I can call my home. Anytime I'm distressed or I'm facing some difficulty, I can just pick up myself and go there and just have some comfort in those houses. So it tells you that the perception that I had before I came here is pretty different from what I currently experience now. There are some friendly Chinese, and of course, there are those that wouldn't want to get closer to you because you're a foreigner. Like I said, I'm an English teacher. I teach Chinese kids to learn English language in a training school. So that's what I do. It's all about helping them to read, to write, and to be able to communicate in English. So basically, my work is all about helping Chinese kids to read, write, learn English. Like with the kind of YouTube that I do, especially for me like this in winter, my YouTube is all about going on the street, talking to people. But it's pretty hard to be walking in winter, to talk to people. It's not easy to get people to talk to because everyone is cold. No, you don't often see people outside or people willing to stand in the cold for so long to communicate with you. So it's pretty one of the challenges that I have. And also, over here in China, YouTube is not kind of accepted because it's a Western media. And so there are certain places that you cannot go to shoot videos. I've had some cases where I was even arrested for shooting videos at a particular location. So the challenges are quite a lot, but the major ones that I face, not being able to get to certain places that I would want to, have the people that I would want to talk to. And also, I think we've got the VPN issues. For me, I wouldn't say I consider myself as that social type. So I don't usually go out. Sometimes it would be over 6 months that I wouldn't see myself going out to clubs or to pubs. But once in a while, when my friends are having events like birthdays, parties, I go out together with them, especially to the clubs, night clubs, or like parks, social places to have fun with them. But generally, I'm not that kind of outing person who likes to go out quite often. But once in a while, I party and I have fun with my friends. With my social life, the kind of thing that I love doing, I don't think I kind of get them to do here because of time, because I love soccer, I love to play football. But because of my time over here, I don't have the time to go out to play. So I've not been playing football ever since I came here because I don't have the time. But back home, I used to play soccer a lot. I used to, every weekday, every weekend, I would be playing soccer with my friends. But I don't get a chance to do here because of my limited time that I have here. The cost of living is not that expensive to live in China. That is if you are well employed over here. It's not quite expensive. the cost of food is not expensive. I would say it is the accommodation part that is quite higher, but that is if you want to live in an affluent community. But if you want to live in the suburbs, I think it's pretty cool. It's pretty, it's pretty cheap. But if you want to live in an affluent society or community, that is where you need to pay a lot of money to get yourself an accommodation. Approximately $300 per month. That is if you want to live a normal life. But to live an expensive life, you can pay as much as $1,000, between $700 and $1,500. That is if you want to live a very lavish life. So I think China has one of the cheapest and most comfortable ways of transportations in the world. Over here, there are subways, taxis, Didis, and bikes, but I prefer to use the subways more. That is when I'm going to work. But when I have emergency situations, I usually use the Didis. But basically, my most common transportation that I use are the subways and Didis. I don't use the bus much often. I don't remember the last time I used it because I feel it is very slow and it delays my mode of movement. So it's all about Didi and the subways. I have lived in China for over 5 years, but I'm still not used to Chinese food. So what I do is to cook at home by myself. When I go out I usually eat at international restaurants, but I don't eat Chinese food. I'm sorry, I don't really eat Chinese food. I don't remember the last time I did that. So it's all about eating my home food, local foods, which I can cook here, or going to international restaurants to make myself comfortable. Food in China is not too expensive, so I think I'm okay to buy whatever I want to buy. Like I said, if you are gainfully employed, I don't think buying food or eating in China would be much of a challenge for a foreigner. Initially, I planned to live in China for 5 years, but I think I have over-exceeded that. So possibly I have other plans of relocating, but I'm currently not decided. But I don't see myself here in the next 2 or 3 years. Yes, I see myself relocating to a different place, and it's probably going to be soon, but the date is not decided yet. Well, for my advice for people who want to come here is simple. If you want to come to China, you should be prepared mentally, because there are a lot of problems that foreigners go through, but due to certain reasons, we cannot let them out. But if you want to come to China to live as a youth, you should be prepared mentally, because it's not easy to live in China.